Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rachma Chanesya R. I'm from English Literature, a student of Ahmad University. So today I want to talk about the most potential president candidate in 2024. So first of all, before we start discuss about it, we must know about the meaning of the potential and the meaning of president. First, the meaning of potential is having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. In a second, meaning of president is an official chosen to preside over a meeting or assembly, or an appointed governor of a subordinate political unit. So, I will read by my script because I think it is a sensitive issues. So, yeah, prefer for me to read it and explain about the topic, the most potential president candidate. Before we discuss about the most potential president candidate, we have to know who has the potential to become a president in 2024, right? Based on poll tracking, there is a Ganjar Pranowo first, it is second Anies Baswedan, Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono, Ridwan Kamil, Erick Thohir, Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno, Hovifah Indar Parawansa, Erlangga Hartanto, and then Prabowo Subianto, and the last one is Puan Maharani. So, I will talk about it in the last section, because I think, again, this is a sensitive issue. Let me read on my script, okay? Whoever becomes the next president must have the qualities the most Indonesian need. Whoever become the next president must possess the qualities that most Indonesian need, such as honesty and an attitude of responsibility for what has been promised. As well know, many previous leaders sold promises but realized none of them well. Therefore, I believe the person with the most political potential to become a presidential candidate in 2024 must have both characteristics. First, honesty, and the second, attitude of responsibility about they promised. It can be seen from the performance of all candidates, from how they lead their respective area or perform in their areas. Besides that, we must pay attention to each candidate and how they respond to all criticism or suggestion from various groups. For example, how they react to demos or complaints submitted in the other way. Why it is important? Because most leaders are anti-criticism. We know all about it. When they are criticized, they will close the criticism with other controversial issues or ignore it without wanting to listen and observe about this criticism. Other than that, no less important, we must pay attention to what are the weaknesses and strengths of each candidate. We should examine what they've been doing in their respective area, what has been achieved, the shortcomings, problems that exist during his leadership, on her or her leadership, and much more. From there, we can see how the candidates work because what they have done during their leadership reflects the leadership that will come, okay? Although there are difference or advantage, they will not differ much from before. So we must look at the masa kepemimpinan before. They will not differ much from their leadership in these years, okay? Other than that, improving or continuing what was in the previous leadership is no less critical. The shortcomings that exist in the next leadership, such as the withdrawal of democracy, where several draft laws laws have recently been horrendous because there are several articles which weaken the existing democracy in addition to the revision of the KPK law, which is considered to have weakness the KPK, and then the existence of the UU ITE, which contains many rubber articles. So, in addition, there are failures in the environmental field where the Minerva Law and the Omnibus Law and job creation are ratified, contrary to the discourse on preserving the environment. In addition, one of the existing failures to guarantee the most fundamental right is human. It's about human, where many cases of human rights violation seem to be left. And then, therefore, the next president candidate must be able to take responsibility for improving or at least not repeating similar cases imposed by the previous leadership. However, in a government, there must also be a good side that must maintained by the next leadership period. For example, in this government, Indonesia reached the lowest poverty level in the following years because the president, which is Joko Widodo, success in bringing the economic to be much better, and the number of people working which should be maintained by the next government and improve for the better. So, who will win the next president election in Indonesia? Although President Jokowi or Joko Widodo is still ranked first in popularity and electability in prominent political pollsters, he is now in his second term, and he's banned by the state constitution to run for the third term. According to the polls, the top 3 candidates for the president election 2024 are current defense minister Prabowo Subianto, ranked the first, followed by Central Java governor, which is Ganjar Pranowo, and then in the third place is a Jakarta governor, which is Anies Baswedan. So we know that in this situation or in this pandemic, as the COVID-19 pandemic is still ravaging, the potential candidate turned their campaign strategies through online or social media such as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. They are to attract the voters. Okay, Anies, Ganjar, and Ridwan used social media to announce their activities to millions of their followers, such as in a TikTok or in their other platform. Beside that, Sandiaga Uno used his YouTube or channel YouTube to attract younger voters. The popularity of Ganjar in social media once irked his PDIP, Partai PDIP. Puan said that leaders should be active in a field, not in a social media. So Puan Maharani was quoted by several media outlets as saying aiming to Ganjar. Okay, we can see in many cuplikan. So the campaign strategy of the potential candidate in social media is aimed to boost their popularity, since they are not important figures and decision makers in the political parties. Anies and Ridwan are not even members of any political parties. They are just nominated in their current positions because of their popularities or because there is a famous. Similarly, President Jokowi was not important figure in PDIP or Partai PDI when he joined the presidential election in 2014. Jokowi was Jakarta governor, and Partai PDIP finally endorsed him due to high popularity of him. Although the popularity of Jokowi is still highest, the constitution only allows 2 terms for a president position. But in the last section, I will talk about my previous, I will maybe I will choose Anies Baswedan. I think Anies the one of the potential to become the next president candidate in 2024. First, why? First, he has a lot of supporters from various organizations. In a second, Anies is a leader who can unite the nation's children. He does not never discriminate against someone from their religion, their economic strata, their social or another. In addition, Anies also has many real performance, namely such as closing the Alexis Discotheque Hotel, and then the elderly car program, and then they have KJP Plus, and then handling reclamation in Jakarta, construction of the Jakarta International Stadium or JIS, and the other. However, there are definitely some policies that must be reviewed, but in a other side, there are definitely some policies that must be reviewed or just judged to be less successful. Namely, their main it was mainly program they have, which is OKOC, which must be refocused on its output and focus on its output, and if the deficiency lies in making a concept that seems rushed and immature, which result in output less than the maximum. So I think it's all about who the most potential president candidate in 2024. I think it's enough for me, and see you in the next occasion. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.